Hey, what's happening, BMA people? This is Logan over at BigMouth Announcing. Doing a recap of what happened last week. Um, so I'm looking at I got a little thing over here I put on my phone so it makes me look that way. So it makes it look like I'm looking at you or something. Working on it, work in progress. Hey, in the garage today, doing a little bit of work with BMA stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. But where are we at right now? Oh, look at that. Look at all those speakers and generators and all that cable and bottles of water and tents and just other random pieces of awesomeness. But first, let's talk about what happened this past weekend. I had two events. On Saturday morning, I had the Cedar Park Santa Dash 5K. I was put on by the Vista Ridge cross country team. Their boosters teams actually to help them raise some funds. So what's kind of cool is they raise funds at this race so they can put on a couple other events, which they also hire me for. And so it's nice to get the people to come out to this one, and then next fall when I'm doing a couple of the cross country meets, that helps pay for me to come out that way. So that's awesome. But Dusty and Nancy Rame really knocked it out of the park. They always do great work. They're so easy to get along with and to work with. Real laid back folks. Nancy's former military, so it's always fun doing that. I like working with the military folks. And Dusty, he's just a laid back cat that I like to talk to, so it makes it a lot easier. But it was a great race. Kate and Sid came out and they participated. After that, Sid was pretty much a lazy dog for the rest of the day. She's not used to running a 5K or anything even remotely close. But they had, I want to say, about 200 people come out, and that's about 100 more than last year. So hopefully they can keep the numbers increasing year after year. Seriously, put it on your calendar. It's usually the third weekend of December. It's a lot of fun. It's in Cedar Park, so it was only like 10 minutes from the house, and that is the Cedar Park Santa Dash 5K. They also had a kids K, which was, man, if you've got yourself a race and you do a kids race, I mean, that is a big time deal, because if the kids are happy, the parents are happy. If the parents are happy, they'll pay more money to do the race. So you got to keep the kids happy, and the kids races are always just fun to watch. Good kids out there. And then that night, Saturday night, I actually got a phone call on Friday from my friend Emily Stengel over at 3Can Events. They're the folks that put on the Trail of Lights in Austin. And I do the Trail of Lights fun run for them, but I don't do any emceeing for the Trail of Lights itself. Well, she called me the other day and she's like, "Hey, I'm in a real bind. The guy we're using has just canceled 2 dates on us. Can you come in and fill in?" And I checked with Kate, and I was like, "Hey, it's easy money, and nothing. I don't have to do any equipment. It's just voice and talent." And Kate was like, "Yep, go for it." So I did. And I went out there last Saturday night, had a really good time. It was cold towards the end. My toes were freezing. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of holiday cheer, lots of great entertainment. They had some Latino dancers come in. They also had, Del Valley Middle School Choir came in, which was really cool. And I got to introduce the main act on the main stage. I want to say it was Tamor and the FCs. They're straight out of Austin, and they did a great job. So that was my weekend wrap-up of my 2 races I had. Again, I had the Cedar Park Santa Dash 5K, and then one night of the Trail of Lights in Austin. I said there are 2 nights. Yeah, the next one is this coming Friday, and I'll let you know about that afterwards as well. One thing I wanted to talk about today, kind of equipment-based, is the word cheap. Cheap doesn't mean good. Cheap just means cheap. So, for example, and actually what I'm going to talk about today is generators. Don't buy a cheap generator. Buy something that's going to last a while, something that's reliable, and something that's easy to work. There are a bunch of different generators out there that I've had interactions with. The very first generator I ever bought was a Honda 2000. I've never bought any other brand because I know they work. I know they're reliable. I know how to change the oil. I know what I need to know about them. If you change your oil on a regular basis on these things, and which for me is like maybe twice a year, and it's really easy. It takes 5 minutes to change the oil in one generator. And you can go out and buy cheap or less expensive generators, but you're going to get what you pay for. They're going to cut out. They're not going to provide enough power. They're going to freaking burn out. I actually had a couple guys that I work with on a regular basis. I won't name any names, but they went out and bought a generic generator, and on the package it said the same motor as the Honda, just a different brand. Well, it lasted 3 weeks on them, and then no joke, it burned up. It caught fire, burned up, done. They don't buy anything else except for Honda now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these two Hondas I have. Where are we at here? So these are two Hondas that I use on a regular basis. The smaller one is a 2000, and the bigger one is a 3000. Now this 3000 can power pretty much anything I have, up to 6 speakers and all my gear, mixer, soundboard, so on and so forth. The 2000 I got to be careful with because I can't put 4 QSE K12s on it. It just doesn't have enough power. So what it will do is once things get going and like say some bass song comes in, it will reset. It will reset everything I'm using. So therefore I can't I don't like to use that. If I were using say like a K10, which is a smaller version of the QSE speaker, I can use 4 K10s on it as long as I don't go completely nuts and use a 2000. But that 3000, that used to power my pop-up camper. Again, it'll power up to about 6 K12s and a whole bunch of other gear. I absolutely love it. The only thing that sucks about it is heavy. But I can get it in and out of the back of my van by myself. It just takes a little preparation. Changing the oil on it, it's real easy. The tank on that will go about 8 to 10 hours on a use. For the 2000, 4 to 6, depending on what you're using it for. But don't buy cheap. Honda, to me, is the absolute best. If you got to go with something else, Yamaha pulls in a close second. They're around the same price point. You can find them on Craigslist for sale all the time. What I did is actually I bought 2 of them from a woman in Round Rock, and she had loaned them out to some guy, and he just beat the hell out of them for months. And one didn't even start, the other one smoked. So what I did is I just brought it to my local Honda dealer. I bought them. They usually retail for about $1,200, $1,300 a piece. I bought them both combined for $800. And then I went over to Woods Fun Center, the Honda dealership here in Austin, and I had them refurbished for $150 a piece. So total out the door, $1,100-ish. And I have 2 generators, and I've been using them for 8 years without one single problem. A little tip with generators, if you do outdoor events where it's cold, start the generator at home in the garage or something. Let it run for like 2 minutes. Keep the door open, obviously, the garage door. But get it warmed up. Get that oil warmed up. And then by the time you get to your event, the oil's still warm and it will start up first, second, maybe third pull. But if you try and do it straight from a cold start when it's like less than 50 degrees, you might be pulling for a while. So make sure you guys keep good care of your generator. Again, any type of equipment. You take care of your equipment will take care of you. So don't fuck around and buy cheap shit. Buy something, yeah, it's going to cost you more money, but it's going to save your ass in the long run. So there you go. BMA tip for the day, tip for the week, or whatever you want to call it. But tips. So we'll see. We got Christmas coming up, the New Year. I don't have any races on the New Year or Christmas, so Kate and I are just going to sit back, relax. We're actually going to go out to a nice dinner and not take the dog. Go figure. By the way, where's the dog? There she is. She's sitting, laying down right over. Wait, there. I think that's the way it points. Well, whatever, guys. Hey, again, thanks everybody for supporting BigMouth Announcing. We greatly appreciate it. Any comments, questions, concerns, always just let me know. And if you don't have something nice to say, just don't say it at all. Don't even write it. Keep it to yourself. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great week.